by you. I'll be your everything, your blue sky. I go to war, fight. Damn right.
Welcome back to the Professional Stepdad Show. I'm your host, Franco Zavala. Thank you very much for joining me. This is episode 152 of the show. Guys, almost to 500 subscribers on YouTube. I'm just so freaking, it's so awesome. Thank each and every one of you for subscribing and for sharing. If you guys have not, go check out the show on YouTube. If you're only listening on Spotify, iTunes, SoundCloud. Today's episode, I'm going to be quick because I want it to be something that kind of sticks with you for the rest of the day. And that is, don't quit. You've come this far. The year is almost over. And the rewards that you will reap because of the seeds that you have sown are on their way. The season for winning, the season for love and acceptance and joy and happiness is almost here. But you can't experience that, and you won't have a chance to know what that feels like, stepdad, if you quit, right? If you walk away. I'm saying this today because I know that we all have that voice in our heads. We all have that argument, that conversation with the person that lives rent-free in our head, and that person is this little vision or this image of ourselves that doesn't think they're capable, doesn't think they're qualified. They don't believe that the family members, the kids, anybody will ever accept them or love them. And it's almost a justification that we have in the back of our mind when we think about quitting. Because look, let's call a spade here. If you haven't thought about quitting once or twice as a stepdad, then you are a rare breed, because it's hard, right? It's hard to put up with the pain and anguish and jealousy and hatred and judgment and fear of like losing and not being a good man and not being able to fill the shoes, or maybe to step into a position where, like myself, you have 5 kids as opposed to like 1 or 2. There's so many different scenarios, and they're all different. They're moving parts, this big, huge game of chess that we play. And if you quit, then you won't ever get to experience or reap the benefits of all the hard work you've put in. So this episode is for you. The person that's listening today that in the last 48, 72 hours, maybe 24, thought about quitting, thought about throwing in the towel, thought about walking away, thought about taking if you're on a freeway, you take the next exit off, and you thought that because you don't see anything happening, you don't feel anything happening, and you're losing hope. And hope is one hell of a thing, right? Hope, holding on to hope that one day you will be embraced in the arms of one of your kids in a loving manner where you can feel like, all right, I did it. I put up with it. I went through hell. I went through just miles and miles of deep shit and mud, and just to get to right here. And I it's easy. I mean, it's obviously a lot easier said than done. But let me be the first to tell you that, or maybe the 50th person to tell you, that hard work does pay off. And if you don't want to quit, you just don't. You're going to regret it for the rest of your life if you quit. And you may say to yourself, well, no, I'm getting out now. I dodged a bullet, or I got lucky. Because there are a lot of men that think like that, right? They jump into blended families. They don't have good intentions, and their intentions turned into poison. That poison, it poisons the well of love and acceptance. And it's easy for them to just quit because they were never in it anyway. But this is for the stepdad who is in, who has decided that this is the life that he wants to lead. This is the shoes that he wants to fill. These are the steps that he wants to take. And walking away and quitting, it will haunt you. I mean, just think about that. I mean, how bad do you feel when you quit on a diet? How bad do you feel when you quit on working out? I mean, now imagine quitting on a family. For me, like I connected with the younger 3 kids pretty easy, and they accepted me pretty fast. But the 2 oldest kids in my family, it took a long time, and I could have used their not hatred, but they didn't trust me because I hadn't earned their trust yet, right? And I had to earn their trust through time and patience and effort and energy. And if I quit because of those 2, I would have quit on the younger 3. I would have walked away and I would have demonstrated to them that, they would have blamed themselves. They would, of course, blamed me. But I was all in, right? And I was willing to accept the good, the bad. I was willing to accept the ups and the downs and the ebb and the flow of what we call the step parenting journey. So maybe you're finding yourself in your office, in your car. You don't want to go in the house. You find yourself sitting in the garage, not turning off the engine because you just need time to think and to process. Maybe you're just trying to find reasons to leave. I'm not sure what it is, but here's what I do know. I do know that if you stick with it and you continue and you move forward and you make the decision to not quit on them and on yourself and on the journey, success will find you. Love will find you. Acceptance will find you. But do not allow that little voice in the back of your head to convince you that you're not worth it, because you are, stepdad. But don't quit. Do not quit. Arm yourself. Strengthen your mind. Be ready. My dad once told me that it's better to be prepared for an opportunity and not have one than to have an opportunity and not be prepared. And I know I've said that probably before on this show, but it doesn't matter. It's so right. Prepare yourself. Strengthen your mind. And don't quit on yourself, on your kids, on your partner. Show everyone that would judge you immediately if you did quit and be like, yeah, I see, I told you so. I told you Franco wasn't worth. I told you he wasn't really in. I told you he was a bad guy. Go win to throw it back in their faces. Show them that they prejudged you unfairly, and that you can be counted on and you can be depended on. So make a promise to yourself for the end of the year, for going into the next year. I will not quit. I can do this. You can. Don't quit, stepdad. All right, everyone. That's today's episode. Quick, short, to the point. Be well. Hey, thanks for listening to the show. Listen, if you know a stepdad who is in need of any of this information, do me a favor right now. Hit that subscribe button and share this episode with them as fast as possible. Did you do it? You did it.
Quiet on the set, please. Thank you, everybody.